I'm Natalie Moses, and you're listening to the Poor Man's Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here, 565 Live in Bellevue. Still, I don't know why I always lead with that. But this time, we are joined with Natalie Moses and guest David Kaye. David, thank you for taking the time to join us tonight.
It's great to be here with you. Thanks so much for having me, Chris.
Absolutely. There we go. Normally, I have a sound guy that's here, but he's working this week, so I got to do triple
that's
duty.
Why it's a poor man's podcast.
That's exactly
you can't afford
why.
him anymore.
Oh yeah, well I couldn't afford him to begin with, but yeah, we're doing the best we can with what we have, and that's kind of where the name came from. So, but yeah, we're happy to have you here tonight, David. I just saw. Did you had a show with Eric Nesby? Was he just on
Eric
a show?
Was on one of my shows.
Okay, yeah.
This past Friday.
Right,
down
yeah.
At the Hilton Garden Inn in Uniontown. Yeah.
And how did that go?
Oh, it went really well. It was a smaller crowd, but he did a great job. It was funny. I've known Eric since he just started doing stand up. I used to see him doing the open mics at the Improv over in Homestead, and for years I had no idea how old he was, and he told me he was 19 when he got started. And he was just telling me that on Friday night, and he's now 20. He just turned 25, so he's been at it 6 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't even start until I was 26. Started doing stand-up. And so he said, this is the first time I've done a feature set at what he would consider a comedy club, regular comedy club. So I said, here. I was changing out the poster at the club, so I said, here, take the poster. You got your picture on there as your first feature. So it felt nice to know that I was helping him out.
I think Eric's gonna do something with himself. Eric's very funny, and he works. I always see him. I went to a couple open mics. I wanted to start doing it, kind of get more comfortable with just speaking, just because I'm uncomfortable with it. So I wanted to get more comfortable with that, and I've seen Eric out a couple times. It's funny. The last time I saw him, he pulled me, like I was talking to him right before he went up, and he was like, "Oh, you're a lot shorter than I remember." And I was like, yeah, okay. And then he went up, and he did like this bit immediately about how if he was shorter, he would kill himself. And I was like, oh, okay, awesome, man. Oh, okay, that was a good conversation. But so David, you have Slapsticks
Productions and Slapsticks Comedy Clubs,
right? So
and the Funny Fundraiser.
Right. I wanted to talk to you about all three.
Ooh.
Actually, the Funny Fundraiser is what caught me the most. Can you tell us? I read something. What, you have over 2 million in donations from different things?
Well, we started counting. I started counting how much we were raising for groups every year, starting in 2016, and since 2016. We're somewhere around 2.6 million.
Wow.
We're getting closer to 2.7 that we've raised for groups.
Yeah.
Now that's their net profit. So that's I feel pretty good about it because I have groups that have stayed with me annually for 12, 13 years. Mm-hmm. So there's a group coming up in January. It's the Whitehall Borough Recreation Department. And they were one of the first groups that started with me back in 2008. Mm-hmm. So it's great to know that they continually want to come back and do this event because it's always successful for them.
So how did that start?
I'll tell you exactly how it started. A friend of mine who had was a fire department. They volunteered for a fire department out in Hampton, and they asked me to come out and do a show for them. They said, we're just going to, we want to do a fundraiser, and we want to do comics. I'm like, yeah, that's no problem. So it's probably like 99, 2000, something like that. And so I did it it was probably even earlier than that. But so we get there and there's hardly anybody there. And the sound system, there's no sound system, no lighting, nothing. And I said, where is everybody? And they're like, well, so-and-so was supposed to make posters, and they got fired from the print shop. So-and-so was going to print tickets, but they don't know how to do it. And then the DJ that was going to bring the sound system got a wedding, and he decided not to do it. So I said, well, how about this? I'll bring next time I'll bring the sound system. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, okay, that's great. So I bring the sound system, and they still don't have lights. So I'm like, okay, next time I'll bring sound system and lights. Okay, next time I'll print the tickets. So then it all kind of came together slowly but surely, and then it became I found a really good format that worked for it, and I set the pricing to a nice price point where it's worth it for them to do the show. Because, if you want to do the show and you say, oh, well, how much are you going to make? Oh, it depends on what you're going to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to really give them a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you lay that all out for them, it makes it much easier to get them to buy into the idea of a fundraiser. So that's what I do.
So you said you started doing comedy when you were 26. So did you start out doing stand-up? I saw that you act too and do voiceover and a number of other things.
Yeah.
Where did you kind of start and kind of how, I guess I'm interested in the entire path, kind of what you started with and how you got into comedy or acting.
I started out in stand-up.
Okay.
And from stand-up, I started doing acting. And then with the acting, my agent said, well, why don't you start you should do voiceover work since, you're going to be able to get more, the more irons in the fire.
Right.
And that's really how that's how it happened. And this is the funny thing about acting. I'd been acting, I started doing summer stock down at West Virginia University. They had West Virginia Public Theater they still run every year. So I started doing shows with them, and I thought, oh, well, this is great. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
And I'm going to become the greatest Shakespearean actor. I'm going to get this beautiful, wonderful voice and everything. So I went back to Pitt.
True thespian.
I decided to get my degree in theater. And this is what you do. This is when you go back to school late in life, over 35, you go back to school for a job that's going to have greater disappointment, less money, and more rejection than the one that you already have. So that's how that worked out. And then about 2 years into that, I said, I hate the rehearsal process.
Yeah.
Because in college, it's a long process. I mean, so I changed direction, got into set design, since I had a background in mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
And then I started doing set design. And then I miraculously got a job working for Pitt as soon as I graduated.
Oh.
Because that's what they do in the theater department is you graduate and then they hire you at a cheap price.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. So where did, I guess, you cut that out at a certain point and then focus?
I started working for them in 2004. I worked for them for 5 years so I could get health insurance for my daughter.
Oh, there you go. It makes sense.
Yeah. And then in 2009, I cut loose from them altogether. And it was just, I'd been still doing stand-up, still doing everything else, still doing the acting. But the theater was just, it was too much.
Yeah. How is the live acting versus acting on film? What's your thoughts on that? What do you prefer?
I love live acting.
Yeah.
It's the best. It really is. I love the thrill of it. And I love because each performance is a little bit different every time you get up there on stage, and depending what the audience is doing and depending on what your other actors are doing around you. And then as through the run, it builds and it builds and it builds. And by the time, the longest run I've ever done is, like 3 weeks. And by the time you're done with that third week, the whole show is so tight.
Right. Yeah.
And the reactions from the audience and the things that happen on stage that you don't expect. I'll never forget one time we were doing a show, and in the show, it was a musical. It was a comedy musical, and in the show, this woman comes across the stage and she says something about champagne, everyone, and she clanks the 2 champagne bottles together, right? And she does that every show. And then one time she clanks them together, and she hit them in such a way that the bottoms popped off on both of them. And they splashed all over the floor. And we're all like, I mean, the reaction to see her face.
Yeah.
And the reaction was just, it was hysterical.
Yeah.
And
do you acknowledge it at that point, or do you just show goes on? Do you add?
You know what? I think somebody said we're going to need more bottles or something like that. And then we just went right to the next line. So I mean, those kind of foibles happen all the time, though, in live theaters. So.
What do you get more maybe satisfaction, or what do you enjoy more? Is the performing for a live audience for like stage acting, or for doing a stand-up
routine? Yeah. Because for me, the immediate reaction, there's the gratification. Because that's what I am. I'm an addict, and I need that immediate gratification the moment that I can get it. I mean, it's like, I don't know if you ever smoked crack, but when you go like this, when you go, whoo, when you do that, that's like, whoa. Yeah. So I mean, that's
put the light bulb down.
Yeah. Not that I'm going to, not that I can compare smoking crack to the. I mean, it's the same. It's the same. It's that same endorphin rush. It's that same thing that you're going to get. So that's what happens with the. I can't believe I compared it to smoking crack.
It's not that good. No. Geez. I wanted to ask
We're
because
just flying through these questions.
Oh no. Well, there's
go ahead.
There's a bunch of things that I'm interested, because I have a lot of like comedians on, but you kind of get the same kind of answers. Not as not everyone does production and has a comedy club. So how did you get from just doing stand-up, doing acting, to I have a comedy club that I run and that I book, I would guess, and produce?
The reason why I started my comedy club, well, I had a production company, and I was doing it for the fundraisers. So I liked doing that just because it was a way for me to not go out on the road. I could stay closer to home. And then during my divorce, when in like 2005, the spring of 2006, my ex said, you're going to have your daughter 2 weeks a month. I'm going to have your daughter 2 weeks a month. So I was like, okay, how do I stay home on those 2 weeks that I have my daughter? So a comedian friend of mine said, I talked to a comic friend of mine, and because a location of a restaurant that I had done a show at for Valentine's Day that year asked me if we could do more comedy for them. Mm-hmm. And he said he had a room upstairs. So we went up to this room, and it was really tiny. And I said, you know what? It's a 90-seat room. I think I could fill this every weekend. Mm-hmm. So I opened up my first physical location for Slapstick's Comedy Loft. Mm-hmm. And it was upstairs of the now... they're now closed. It was the Royal Place over on the corner of 88 and 51. It was a funky restaurant and banquet center, but it worked for me, Yeah. And that's how the comedy, my idea of just having a comedy club, having a single location started. So it was more out of necessity than my drive to want to open a comedy club.
Do you find yourself liking part of the production, part of the doing the shows?
Production is my favorite part of the show, I think. Yeah. I really enjoy putting the whole thing together, making sure that the show flows right, putting the right comics on the show that I feel are going to the show's going to build on itself. And I like making sure that the light and sound works.
Yeah.
Because how many times do I go? Natalie, you during stand up, right?
Yes.
I mean, when do you go to an open mic that ever has a light, that ever has a spotlight, that ever has a sound system that works decently?
Either none or it's burning you. It's like a sun lamp.
Yeah. So making sure that those things and the look right. It looks right. I have a backdrop that I put up that I designed, and the back drop looks fucking fantastic. It's a great. I don't know if I can say fucking fantastic.
You can.
It's a great looking backdrop. So production is my and that was part of going to school for theater. that also fed my desire to have a produced show.
Mm-hmm. So I saw that on the website for that, there's comedians on it. So are those just regular comedians there, or are they people like the comedian section? I saw there were a few names I recognize. I know T-Robe. There were, who else? I saw a couple that were, they're solid comedians on there.
Yeah. Those are like, I would say that's just an example of the comics that I use. Obviously, some of those comics I'm using more now, and some of them I'm not using as much. Mm-hmm. But comics are coming and going, and it's always a crop of comics that are coming through that are in the price range that I can afford for my club.
Yeah,
and for my fundraisers. One of the guys that I love to work with now is Brett Terhune.
Okay,
I don't know if you know who he is.
No.
Great comic out of Indianapolis, and he's on his way. He's on his way up, and he's one of these guys that I'm like, this guy, I want to get him now. So, another guy that I used to work with all the time was Greg Morton, who he was a Canadian guy. He's from Toronto. Great impressionist. Mm-hmm. He's did Montreal Comedy Festival for many years, and now he was did America's Got Talent, and I think he became a semifinalist. So, but now his price range, once you get those national credits, you add a zero to your to your price. So,
price himself out a little bit.
Well, I can probably get him if I string a couple of things for him.
Yeah.
String a few things together. So.
What's your take on like the overall comedy group around now versus say 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
You mean in overall?
Overall,
like throughout the country,
locally,
just locally.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly has changed since when I started. I think the comedy, the interest and the desire for people to do comedy, people that want to be comedians, has just blossomed. It's been a boom. Mm-hmm. But the question is there room for everybody at the table? Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think the table gets too full.
Yeah.
And
it's oversaturated.
It does. It goes through cycles. It becomes big, then it goes small again. And that's and I know when I got into stand up, and I'm going to age myself out here at this point. I started doing comedy in 1987.
Oh, okay.
And it was really starting to. It was just at the rise of. It was just. If you're going up the Thunderbolt Hill, the first one, it was just about there. Yeah. It was just about to the top of the hill there. And then that's when I got on. And then it really started. And then it was a roller coaster ride from there for 5 years, till about 92, 93. And then there was such an oversaturation with HBO and A&E and Caroline's Comedy Hour and Night at the Apollo and HBO and Def Comedy Jam and all these things came up, and nobody wanted to go see live comedy anymore. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the clubs closed down. Most of a lot of independents closed, and then it started coming back up again. And I think we're at an oversaturation point right now. I think the last 2 or 3 years, everybody's just getting oversaturated. You can't swing a dead cat in Pittsburgh without hitting an open mic night.
Yeah.
It really is that much.
Does it go from oversaturated to back to the normal or lower, just from people giving up, not wanting to do it anymore, or how do you think it goes from that higher number to a lower number?
I think a lot of times people lose interest, or they realize that that there's a lot more people out there funnier than them.
Yeah.
And I can't. I'll be honest with you. I can't believe that I've been doing this as long as I have. I've been doing it 35 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ Almighty, it's a career. You know. Is it? Have I made a huge name for myself? No. Have I made? Made ends meet? Yes. You know. Is it? Am I doing as good as a plumber? Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm doing better as good as a plumber, and I'm not sticking my hands down stinky drains.
Yeah,
you know?
that's definitely benefit.
So, you know, I mean, I got a 21-year-old daughter who's in college that I'm helping pay for. You know, I mean, I have a house, you know, a decent car. And
I mean, that's better than 99% of people in any kind of art.
yeah, that's right. So, I mean, I'm happy with it, and it's been growing since the pandemic. Came back. It's been growing.
How is it? Well, I'll get your take nationally and locally as far as, like you were saying, the audience, when it was oversaturated, they didn't want to see the live show anymore. How are people foreseeing a live comedy show versus just staying at home and streaming something or watching their phone?
Could you? What was that question?
So, like, how our audience? You said they were like oversaturated from all the different things. They kind of got burnt out and didn't want to see the live comedy as much in the 90s.
Yeah.
So how is it now? Do you still see people wanting to go to comedy most nights of the week, or do they want to watch it at home streaming?
People want to go out to the comedy clubs. I mean, and that's obvious because after the pandemic, people have been sitting at home. They've been doing jack shit. So they want to go out and they want to do something. So it doesn't surprise me when I see that the Improv in Pittsburgh is packed every Friday and Saturday night. What does surprise me is that they give it away most every week. You know, they're giving away free tickets when they used to not have to do that.
Yeah.
But that's how they get people through the door. Now, independent comedy clubs like mine, or say any other independent comedy club, there's you look at the Funny Stop in Akron, Crackpots in Massillon, Ohio. Hilarities up in Cleveland, a club that I work out in, Loonies that I work out in Colorado Springs, and Causey's Comedy Club down in Virginia. These people, Causey's is different because they get money from the food and beverage, but like guys like me, I'm only getting the door, and so I can't give away a free ticket.
Right.
So people definitely want to go out. They don't want to pay for it. Like they don't want to pay for it though.
Do they not respect it? Or what is it?
I don't think people, well, if you give it away, people aren't going to respect it.
Yeah.
You got to have some kind of value to it.
Right.
And even if it's $5,
yeah.
Shit, even $5 was
right.
what people were paying to get into the door when I started, you know? So, I mean, $20 should be a good price tag to go in and see a decent comedy show.
Right, yeah, for sure.
I don't want to go into a comedy club and see 8 shitty comics and then, you know, pay $20 and leave and say, well, and if that's the first time you've gone out to a comedy club and you've seen that, you don't want to go back.
Yeah. It brings it down for everybody.
Yeah,
because then that's just the taste you have in your mouth.
And it does. It lowers the bar.
So do you have any shows coming up personally that anyone could look forward to, or anybody who wants to find anything with you, where can they find it?
Well, Friday night I'm doing my Twisted Christmas party.
Okay.
At the Crackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio. So that's not nobody from Pittsburgh's going to go there, right? They're not going to go. So
they have one of the best high school football teams in the country, Massillon. I think.
Do they?
At least they did it a couple years ago.
Maybe that's why. Hopefully they were not. Hopefully
I know all about Bend, Oregon, and Massillon, Ohio.
Last year we did it, and they were in the playoffs. Those sons of bitches. So that we had a low turnout.
Yeah.
And then let's see. My next big show, we're doing December 30th at the Grand Theater out in McDonald, PA. I'm bringing in Larry Reeb out of Chicago, Uncle Lair. If you've never heard of Uncle Lair before, you come out and see him. That's Friday, December 30th. And then New Year's Eve, we'll be doing our New Year's Eve show at the Slapsticks Comedy Club at the Hilton Garden Inn in Uniontown.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of things. And then they can always go to slapsticksproductions.com. Slapsticks with an S, productions with an S.com. And then they look at the schedule there.
Yeah.
And then we got plenty of shows coming up in 2023.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I'll make sure we post that, and so everyone can.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, every week we do our little beer segment, so I want to get Natalie's take on the beer I have for her, and then we have our stuff to do in Pittsburgh segment. So we're going to hear about. There's a lot of holiday things coming up. So, Natalie, I will let you start by talking about your cider this week.
Okay, this is Arsenal Cider House Ginger Event Blend Hard Cider. I don't know anything about cider. I haven't had it since I was probably 18.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm just going to... Ready? It's really sweet. Which I think I should have...
Yeah.
I'm taking like the babyest sips. And it makes sense that I drank cider when I was... You know when you like first start,
Yeah.
you're like a little...
We want a Long Island iced tea, and yeah.
Yeah, like lots of sugar and yeah.
What do you drink now? Just scotch, right out of the bottle.
Gasoline.
Yeah.
No, I like wine.
Now, Natalie, you can see on the page in front of you. This is how we rank our beers. Now, it does get the lower is the better.
Okay.
So we treat this like a Michelin star. Okay.
Okay.
If you have one Michelin star, you're still a hell of a chef. So
Yeah.
we're not insulting any of the local
Absolutely.
beers. There's just a scale. So number 1, we have Gangster. Number 2, we have Flavor Town or Out of Bounds. Number 3, Shut the Front Door. And 4, the pinnacle is Flavor Town. If you had to rank Arsenal's Ginger Event Blend and the Guy Fieri Richter scale of flavor, which would you go with?
I go with Gangster, but only because
That is gangster. That is gangster.
There we go.
only because it's a little too sweet. If it was like a little less sweet, I could drink a lot of that.
Natalie, it took me 3 hours to find this drop. So I'm gonna play
So
it.
worth
Yeah.
it. You know he's my dream husband.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had to watch a super cut of Guy Fieri to find all 4 of those. it was like a 2-hour video. I mean, I tried to scrub through it, but then you're like missing things. I didn't
I
want
watch that every night before I go to bed.
to. Which one? Guys' Grocery Games,
No,
Diners,
just a
Drive-Ins,
super
and
cut of
Die.
him talking.
Oh.
I told you I'm in love with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the thing that's like, he looks like all members of Smash Mouth pushed together? Once you see it, you cannot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Does she do
I
one
like
of these now? Does she drink one
Oh,
of
should I
these?
do that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do the gals. Do the gals. Okay. Easy for you to say, Chris. I'm gonna talk about my beer while you open that,
Okay.
just so because I'm gonna forget.
Is this the same?
That is a very different beer.
Okay.
But the one I have this week, I'm gonna talk on the mic now. It's called 400 from 4 Points. I don't think I've done a beer from 4 Points.
Fancy.
It's an IPA, 7%.
I mean, it is out of bounds.
I'd say it's out of bounds. It has. It's not my favorite aftertaste. It's a nice IPA. It goes down easy. Kind of has a little, a muddy aftertaste. I don't know what it is.
That's 7%.
Yeah,
What it is.
I think so. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go.
I mean, it is out of bounds.
Now, Natalie.
Yeah.
We're going for round 2 for you, which is unprecedented.
Ghost Cowboy. Which, did you pick this on purpose? Because we talk about ghosts.
Oh my
a lot.
God, I didn't even think about it. Wow. Oh wow.
It's a West Coast style IPA, 7.2%. Where is it from? Hop Farm Brewing Company in Pittsburgh, PA. So let's
Bottoms up.
yeah, cheers.
And your thoughts?
I should have led with I really don't like
Yeah, if you, well, you know what? You thought that one was too sweet, so now we're going to go with something that's not
this
as
one
sweet.
is it's like have you ever like eaten raw bread?
No, never raw.
Like the dough.
Oh,
like,
okay.
like-
I thought you meant like non-toasted. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like super like I guess it would be called hoppy. I don't know beer, man.
Yeah.
I
I would like to say that I got Natalie's second beer all in the time that it took you to drink that, which is, for a technical part, is good for me. I'll take that.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah,
That was
thank
on
you,
me.
man. It was. You bought me just
Not on
the
you.
perfect amount. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not the right person.
It sounds like it's
review
probably.
that.
That is gangster.
I'm going to go with that. You're going to go gangster for that
I'm
one
gonna
as
go
well?
gangster, but if I had to rank the two, I would drink that.
Which, the hop farm one?
Yeah, I would drink that over
Oh, wow.
the cotton candy in the bottle.
That's
You gotta
something.
bring in a Mickey's malt.
Ooh.
What
like,
what is what's that?
Mickey's malt liquor.
I was gonna say, is it malt liquor or is it like a
The
malt?
Mad
No,
Dog?
Mickey's malt liquor. They call it it used to come in a green bottle. We used to call it the mean green big mouth bottle because the bottle, I mean, it was literally like drinking one of those. Remember those little barrel drinks that what do they call those?
Huggies?
Oh yeah.
Huggies, yeah, one of those. You pull the top
ready for
off
that
like
one.
that, and you just knock that
Oh,
back.
that's awesome. Oh man.
I can't imagine malt liquor in that, but that's awesome.
Yeah. What packaging?
Yeah, they're aiming. The next, they're gonna be in the little Paw Patrol containers. Like it sounds like it's all for kids.
Just
In
stick
the
the straw
Yeah.
like
Capri
a,
Sun.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I feel like
Natalie, that is exactly what you want because you're just you're the
yeah.
Joe Public, whatever. You're.
I feel like I could talk much more eloquently about French fries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about potatoes real quick. Okay.
All right.
Best form of a potato. There's so many,
it's really
and you're not. This is another one with like the Michelin stars. You're not going to go wrong with potato.
Fries. French fries.
Are you kidding?
Oh.
Not a baked?
Oh, shit.
Or a mashed?
Mashed.
Okay, I know.
You got to go mashed potatoes. I am the mashed potato king.
What do you put in them? Like, do you make them, or you're the king of eating them?
Oh no, I make the mashed potato.
What's your recipe?
Well, you gotta. I've got two
You put
words
cream?
for you.
Yeah.
I've got 2 words.
Oh, can I guess them?
Go ahead.
Is it heavy cream? No.
Oh, that's what I was going to go.
Yukon Gold.
Yes.
That's what you got to go with. You got to start out with the right potato.
Yeah.
Yukon Gold.
Yukon
And then
Gold
I-
makes
and
a
then I
hell.
put in 8 potatoes, 2 sticks of butter. That's right. That's right.
Do you-
8 potatoes, 2 sticks.
Do you go skin on?
No, you got to go skinless.
Have you ever had skin with red skin mashed?
Oh yeah,
love that,
we
yeah.
just
That's
did
a-
Redskins the other day.
Yeah.
we just did Redskins on Thanksgiving.
I'm partial. The Yukon Gold are delicious, but I think I'm partial to the red skin for the mashed in my later years. But maybe I'll yeah.
How about that?
You go back and forth.
I'm trying to
Well,
make it interesting.
When you eat your mashed potatoes, do you take your spoon and you go like that? You make the lake bed? Do you make a lake bed?
For the gravy?
Yeah, but I usually
Yeah.
dip mashed potato, then whatever other food I'm eating with it, so that I get like a nice bite.
Oh, really? You don't take that? I take my spoon and I make the lake bed.
Yeah.
And then I take another big
Beautiful.
glop of butter and I drop it in.
Oh, okay.
And
And then
then-
do you close it?
I close it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
a
Nice
pro
little
move.
Go work
package.
around it for a little
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Come back a few minutes later, hit it with a fork, bam.
And then
Yeah.
it's like one of
Butter
those lava
volcano.
cakes.
That's right.
Yeah, it is.
Volcano.
Yeah, I'm hungry now. The fries upstairs. Side note, this is a plug for them
plug.
Oh, they have
upstairs.
fries upstairs?
They have
They make a good
great
fry?
Yeah, they make a hell of a fry. It's a nice crispy outside, but they do the skin on the out. They do like the, Jesus, I was gonna say pumpkin patch, potato patch.
Potato
fry.
patch. Oh, so they're
kinda
real
like that.
fries.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? I
Nice.
gotta say, I think for me, I like a waffle fry because it has more. If you're gonna fry
Surface
it,
area.
it's got more crunchy surface area,
Yeah.
and not because I mean sometimes I'll chew a fry and I'm like choking on it because
Yeah.
it's just too like a Wendy's fry
Yeah.
is too thick. Like if you make a big clumpy thick fry, it's too much.
You need the right
much
outer
starch.
part
Yeah.
and the inside part, the ratio to be correct.
Absolutely.
I like when you get the waffle fries and you get like an end piece, so it's like a fat,
yeah.
like a chunk. You know,
Oh, you mean you get
Like the
you get
round
Yeah.
one.
Sure.
Yeah. You go cheese with those?
anything.
I feel like waffle fries are meant for cheese.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. How do you argue with that?
You can't. You can't. It's
What
impossible.
about bacon? Do you put the bacon crumbles too?
Bacon makes it better.
To load them up.
Bacon makes anything better.
Better, yeah, absolutely. Bacon and anything with salt and a potato, it's a match made in heaven, Natalie.
Absolutely.
It's like you and grape leaves,
and
man.
I don't have like, I don't feel strongly about any one type of mashed potatoes. This comes up every year around Thanksgiving because I get really annoying and I like to ask people like, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? As kind of like a joke, like, Oh, like what? Here's a conversation starter.
For podcast?
Out at a bar and I've never met these people. I'll
I
be
can
like,
tell you.
It wasn't on your list?
I can tell you the worst.
okay, let's hear it.
Green bean casserole.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Ugh.
Love it.
It's so cheap.
Yeah.
It's like the cheesiest thing you could. It's the worst thing you can make.
Just go straight green bean, I think.
Yeah. It's just green. It's like green beans, and then somebody
You
gets a
can
can
hand
of
it?
mushroom soup,
Yeah.
throws it
To
in.
me,
Congealed.
and just tilt it, and I will just eat the whole thing.
You go fresh cranberries or you go can?
Fresh. Yeah.
Got to go fresh. That's what I do. Have you? Do you cook at home?
I work in a restaurant, so I don't cook at home as much because I'm tired of it. So I eat fast food and chicken nuggets because I'm around everything else all the time. So it's just like I cook for convenience more than taste.
Yeah.
Really? That is so bizarre. I would think since you worked in a restaurant that you would love the.
I don't remember the last time I sat down and ate. I'm uncomfortable sitting and eating anymore. Like I stand in the corner of my kitchen and eat like quickly. Like I'm just so like ingrained into it. Yeah.
That's restaurant life.
it's not luxurious.
There was a woman who I can't remember. She just recently died, about a year and a half or 2 years ago. But I think she was a costume designer or something like that. But every meal she had was like the most amazing meal. Every meal that she made, she said, we only have like a finite number of meals to eat throughout our lifetime. So why not enjoy each and every time you eat? So. Wow.
To be fair, I enjoy Great Value chicken tenders every time I eat them. There's something about them. Although I have noticed, oh God, I just go on tangents about everything. The chicken tender from there, they think they're pulling one over on me, but they're not. They go less chicken meat and more filling on the outside. They have the thickest breading on them anymore.
Where's this?
Great Value, the Walmart generic brand, because they have, I don't know what their blend is, but it's delicious.
It's probably like the same 11 secret herbs
Oh,
and
yeah.
spices. There's like a whole group of like chicken finger Illuminati somewhere. It's just like,
I'm sure that's probably what it is. I don't know why that wasn't my initial thought.
I'm surprised you didn't go there.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Before I digress too much, I'm gonna hit the stuff to do in Pittsburgh. There, I think Michelle's doing it this week. She's gonna tell us about some of the best events, and we're gonna talk about how nice they are or not.
Hey Pittsburgh, this is Michelle from Stuff to Do in Pittsburgh, and I've got your weekend lineup. First off, the Handmade Arcade Holiday Market is this weekend, December 3rd at 11 a.m. It is free to attend. It's at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. Up next, we have Trivia Night at Cellar on Penn. It is going to be December 1st, 7 p.m., and it's free to attend. Plus, the first place winner gets a $25 gift card. Then we have breakfast with the Butler Grunch, which will be so much fun for the kids. It starts at about $5, and it's December 4th at 10 a.m. And then we have our King Fly Holiday Market, and that'll be just such a fun time with lots of goodies and furniture and vintage clothing to shop through. It's December 4th, 11 a.m., also free to attend at King Fly Spirits, of course. And then we have Shop, Sip, and Give Back at Closet Rehab, which will be so fun. You can create your own earrings and also shop a little bit while you're there. And if you bring in a non-perishable food item or toiletry item, you can donate those to your local community. And then we have another holiday market at Lawrenceville Market House. It's going to be so much fun. Lots of different items, lots of different vendors. And December 3rd at 10 a.m., also free to attend. So lots of free stuff to do, lots of holiday shopping that can be done. I hope Yins have a great weekend.
Well, there you have it, everybody. The wonderful ladies from Stuff to Do in Pittsburgh. Natalie,
Excited.
out of those events that we had on there, which one stuck out to you? Any of them?
So, yeah, but probably not for the right reason. When she said the Handmade Arcade Holiday Market,
Yes.
I thought she was saying handmade, like Handmade Tales.
Yeah.
Like Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah,
like the
very
dystopian-
different. Yeah, no, I got you with
And
the
I was
red
like,
dresses. And
why
stuff.
would they make an arcade market out of that? So I was thinking with the hats and like arcade games,
Right,
and,
Pac-Man
like, a
and yeah,
supermarket.
yeah.
And didn't go there until I read that and realized that So anyway, I think that sounds great.
Well, apparently they have
Now that I
accessories
know
and
what it
pottery and artwork. So yeah, so
Yeah, and then love a trivia night, and you can make your own earrings at the one thing. I mean, that's cool.
Who doesn't want to make your own earrings?
I know. I've never done anything like that, and
Those earrings look like. Have you ever played Pretty Princess?
yes.
Okay.
They
Those
do.
remind me of the rings, and you know what? That game has scarred me for life because I got the black ring stuck on my pinky, and like I can't wear rings or anything on my fingers because it got stuck on there. I had to break it off.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrifying, man.
Do you remember those finger traps?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are terrifying.
That rough for you.
I understand the pain.
You
there.
can, yeah. It's like as soon as you get the initial like, oh shit,
Yeah.
then I start hyperventilating.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no,
So maybe don't make your own earrings. I
Yeah.
don't want to like trick
Yeah, I
your
know. I don't want to do that. The trivia night, Natalie. If you had a subject, and I'll ask you, David, if you had to do a subject on trivia, what would be like? What are you the ringer for?
Lebanese food.
Okay,
There's nothing I know better.
that's your Jeopardy category.
Inside out, eyes closed, back and forth. You can wake me up in the middle of the night and be like, "How do you make baba ganoush?" And I'd be like, "Roast the eggplant." Yeah, that's actually the only thing I know about.
Do you like feta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Are you Lebanese? Yeah. Oh, well, no wonder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have does your mother make Lebanese food for you?
Yeah,
all the time?
so we actually, my family has a restaurant. My cousin runs it now, but when I was little, my parents ran it. So
Is she allowed to say what the name of the
yeah,
restaurant
it's
is?
Shoof's Cafe. Go there,
Yeah,
eat the
yeah.
fries.
Where?
Eat everything.
Where?
In Bridgeville.
Shoof's. That's my favorite Lebanese restaurant.
Are
of all time.
Wait,
Yes, absolutely.
are you kidding me?
Yes.
I named Shoof's.
No, you
When
did
I was
not.
like 12. Yeah, before it was built.
Not a
Oh
Shoof's.
my God.
Wait, you really know Shoof's?
Yeah, well, they've been closed for dining
Right.
indoor dining for a while.
takeout
since
for
I
a
while.
Yes. I love Shoof's. If you're going to get Shoof's, if you're going to Shoof's, you got to go.
Guy, we're best friends.
We get the mazza platter.
Yeah.
We get the mazza platter, and then I like the sleek.
Oh,
The sleek
such
is
an
unbelievable.
underrated
Oh,
dish.
it's so good.
Oh
and
my
then,
gosh.
and then
I love this.
I love the stuffed grape leaves.
Yeah.
Of course, those are always good. The only thing that I can't eat is the turnip that they bring on the mazza
Oh,
platter.
the liffet. That's
Yeah,
one of
I
my
can't-
favorites.
Ugh,
Yeah.
ugh,
You know, I
it's
didn't
too
like it
much.
till I was like 20, though. I used to eat it and go, because it is a.
Do you do rice in your grape leaves?
Rice and beef, yeah.
Oh, you do beef.
Yeah.
Do you like lamb?
I like lamb. My family prefers beef, so I never make them with lamb.
Well, how did you say you named it? What do you mean you named Shoof's?
So here's the story. My dad. So shoof means like look. If I were to say like shoof, like and there's also a mountain range in Lebanon called the Shoof Mountains. Yeah.
Did you name those too?
I named the mountain range 700 years ago. No. And before. This was like my dad's like passion project, and before it was even, the building was his, he would drive by and be like, Shoof, that's the place I want. Like, Shoof,
Oh,
that's
really?
the place.
Oh, that's what
And
he
he'd
would
be like,
say
"Come
when he
in
drove
and-
by
yeah."
the building.
And I was like, we should just call it Shoof's, because then we'd start like jagging him. We'd be like, Shoof, did you see it? We drove past
Oh
it.
my God, is that funny?
So I was like, we should just call it that.
Now,
know-
now, do you guys also are you involved in the car dealership across the
no,
street?
so that's my cousin.
Cousin,
Yeah, my
okay.
cousin
Well, yeah,
runs
well,
the
you're
restaurant.
obviously
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've met the chef there several
Yeah.
times.
That's
Now,
my cousin.
Oh, that's your cousin. Yeah, he's a great guy. He drives a really nice car too.
Bought it from the other cousin.
Yeah, he drives a really nice. I think it was like, I can't remember what it was, but it was huge. It was a beautiful.
He cycles through them because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
the car dealers
Oh
too.
yeah, he
so,
had a really.
yeah.
I think he had a big Cadillac Escalade or something like
At
that.
one
for a
point,
while,
yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is too funny. I can't believe that I met somebody. Your dad owns Shoof's?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I should. Okay.
Why don't you work there
I
so
need-
we can open up again? My God.
I will.
I love that. It's the one guy who knows all about the like.
so
He listed the menu.
I shouldn't say we own it now because my cousin does. He runs it. Yeah, he owns it and runs it. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's been about. Oh, I don't even know. 7 years, probably.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
longer
Well, I
than
love
that.
that. And
yeah,
I love
but-
the baklava and the bird's nests.
Yes.
The bird's
yeah.
nests are just unbelievable. It's
What's a bird's
I actually
nest?
can't
I don't even know what that is.
because I've cut so much of it
yeah.
eaten so much of it that I love to make it, but I can't.
Do you make your own rose water? Do they make their own rose water? Or do
I don't know if they make it down there. We used to buy it, but it's pretty easy to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. An orange, yeah.
God, I love that.
What were you saying? Bird's nest? I don't. What is that?
Like
It's
Is it dessert?
shredded wheat.
Yeah,
It looks like a little bird's nest with like nuts inside.
Yeah.
it's
You think
really
a crow
good.
would like it?
Yeah.
It's basically the baklava, but but they use that.
Yeah, it's the
something
same flavor.
different.
You pour the syrup on the top.
and but it doesn't have the thin. What's the
phyllo,
The
yeah.
phyllo.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
phyllo,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
I actually don't know.
Oh,
I've
okay,
never
okay,
made those. Sorry,
Son
selling
of a
myself
gun.
out there.
I read this.
Oh,
I
wow.
can't believe I met the daughter of the owner of Shoes. This is unbelievable.
I
Wow.
love finding a fan. I think it's. I love it. I think
That's
it's
so
I
funny.
had no idea. I always thought that Shoof was the last name of the person that owned it. but
Yeah,
now I
people
know
call my
it's
dad.
Luke.
People
For, like, the
still go,
first-
Mr. Shoof.
The first 5 minutes, I thought he was just joking. Yeah.
I.
And then he
Fucking
started
loved
listing menu items, and I was like, okay.
The turnips. I was like, he's for real.
When I tell my wife that I met the
Yeah.
daughter of the owner of Shoofs, she's gonna crap
Okay,
herself.
so here's what you need to get next time. We have something called
sweet
shoe
boy.
fries, and it's just so like a grilled chicken salad, like a Pittsburgh chicken salad.
Sure.
It has like fries and chicken and cheese. We make just the fries and cheese and the balsamic that comes on the and
get
that's
outta here.
the appetizer. The shoe fries, they're so good. Cheese.
Well, I would think that though you'd have to eat that
Yes,
right there.
and
You
I
can't-
agree.
Yeah, you
I do
can't,
agree.
You can't get that to take out.
So in your car,
you gotta eat them
you
right
just
in the
open
car.
it and
open
just
start
shovel.
shoving it
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
I'll have to be there when they bring the car when they bring it right out, so that I can just take the
Yes.
hot.
Actually,
you
just call me. I'll set it up for you.
All right,
We'll get
I'll
this
do
done.
that.
Do you do the waffle fry for that? Or what kind
no,
of fry?
but I did try to make a falafel waffle once.
Okay.
Didn't work out.
Didn't work?
No. We don't talk about that.
Yeah. It got a very serious turn.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring up a bad memory.
Yeah, no.
David, what would be your category?
Sorry, I really
we did
think
18 minutes on that. No.
What would be my category?
Other than that restaurant.
I would have to say theatrical productions.
Okay.
I would think that would have to be it because I mean, and I know so many. I know my mother used to make us go to musicals when I was a kid, and we always had the love of the theater and live theater, and I mean, when Fiddler on the Roof came out in the movie theaters, when Jesus Christ Superstar came out in the movie theaters, when every musical we would get dragged to it as a kid. So anything theatrical.
But did you like it? You said you got dragged to it.
Well, no, I mean, she dragged us out. I'm not going to say that she dragged me screaming and yelling, but
Jesus
by
Christ
the end of the show-
Superstar has some bangers on it. They have some good songs, man. Ted Neely, he got a
Yeah,
voice,
he was
man.
great,
What's
yeah.
his name? Who was Judas? Carl something, I
I
think.
can't remember.
God,
I don't know. The
he's
guy's
a
name.
beast, too.
See, now you've already shown me that I have less trivia knowledge.
I just know that one. Yeah. And I don't know too much more than that, but yeah.
I have a comic friend of mine. Well, he no longer does stand up comedy. He was out of Philadelphia. Pat Sullivan was his last. Pat Sullivan, and he used to. He became friends with Neely after the Jesus Christ Superstar because he did the run on Broadway.
Yeah, I saw it with him.
And you saw the revival of it?
Yeah, it was the revival, and I think Judas was the singer from.
He should have been playing Moses at that point.
Oh yeah. From
Methuselah.
what was the band? No, yeah, it was. My mom watched that movie. We would drive to the beach, and I'd hear the soundtrack. Like I know that inside and out. Carl Anderson, that's his name.
I only remember who played the parts when I was in it in 6th grade. And I don't think I was in it. I think I was just there for the practices.
What I'm gonna ask you, and I'll kind of wrap up on this. When you were, it has to be like when you were in school.
Yeah.
Were you in any plays or anything? Like even like very young when you had to be.
Just as dance ensemble.
What's your starring role?
I was a hot box girl in Whitlock Via.
I like that.
Do we tap dance?
I
Guys and
remember.
Dolls.
I feel like David probably has some decent
But I
roles,
was
so
not
it's not.
a star by any means.
Yeah.
I know when we saw Jesus Christ Superstar. I don't know why I'm telling you this. When I saw it in the movie theater, I don't know. I was probably like 12 years old, maybe 13. I don't know. And when Mary Magdalene. She's the she comes out and she's singing that song. Forehead. You know that song.
It'll
she's
upset
like,
you.
yeah, she's like, yeah, and she's like real hot and exotic looking. I got like a chub.
Oh, that's the best because
I'm like, I don't know if I should be doing that. I'm trying to watch Jesus. He's getting just about getting ready to get dragged off to the cross. Should I be getting a chub here?
yeah, they do. I can't remember what it is. Like, let me soothe you, come and anoint you.
When you think of the
Don't
words,
you
like,
know everything's all right? Yes, everything's fine. Or what? Yeah.
Well, Dan,
It's cool.
you can't just sing.
Wine is sweet. Your head and feet.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Think of nothing tonight. It's all right. Yes. Well, man, you.
Keep going.
I don't remember.
I can't even bring up until you started that. I was like, I can't even think of a single song.
Yeah. Oh, that Heaven on Their Minds, that second song on it, man. I'll tell you what. You got to go download the whole soundtrack now.
I'll listen to it on the way home.
I don't want to brag or anything, but when I was in first grade, Natalie,
Yes, what was your starring role?
Peter Rabbit. Just saying, man.
That's so adorable.
Peter Rabbit, man. And then I played a cop in Oliver in 7th grade, and I said, fuck, I can't remember what I said. It wasn't that. It was something about Bill Sykes or something. I don't remember.
Oh, that's a good
I was
one.
like, stop him. That was my line.
Yeah, I only have one
those are my
speaking
acting
line.
credits
It was
in school.
Like that. It was
Yeah.
like a word. I probably messed it
You
up.
had a speaking role though, so you weren't like Tree 2.
No.
Hot Box Girl's nice.
That was fun. Yeah.
Awesome then. Natalie, anybody who wants to find any of your stuff, where can they find all of your
You can find me, Nataluch, on Instagram. I don't really use Facebook, and I deleted Twitter out of fear. So just Nataluch on Instagram.
And David, you said Slapsticks Comedy or
slapsticksproductions.com, and they can go and click on the events calendar and find all of our upcoming shows. I don't have my calendar up on my davidk.biz site, but you can always click on that if you want to.
Absolutely. Like I
The
said,
main site.
I'll post both of that. I'll tag it all and all that stuff. I need to find a better way to say that, but at the end of it, I always have some like I don't know. I butcher it, but thank you both for coming on, Natalie. Maybe we'll see you soon.
Maybe.
If I-
December
okay.
16th at 9:45 at the Pittsburgh Improv. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, jeez.
Wait, what?
I didn't even say the whole point was well, not the whole point. I wanted you on anyway, but I'm going to be giving away tickets to that show. I forgot about that. It's Matt Light's Ugly Sweater Party with Mike Zidell, Natalie Moses. I'm going to buy some tickets, and I can't make it because December sucks to work in a restaurant with Christmas. But I'm going to give them. I'm going to give my tickets away to somebody so I can still support it. But I'll give it to some lucky listeners.
We'll have
So
to find some fun contest.
yeah,
Like,
maybe they'll have to make us grape leaves or something.
do it.
Well, yeah, we'll figure it out. We got the judges. We'll figure it out. Well, yeah, we'll put a pin in that. We'll figure that out. But thank you both so much. Tune in on Wednesdays for the Sports Extra with Sports Guy JP. Normally I would plug next week, but I didn't plan anything, so we'll think about it. I had everything planned. December's just such a disaster, and I don't want to like promise a date to somebody and then have it all be a disaster. So January I'll give you some secure things, but until then we're gonna play it by ear. But everybody, thank you for listening.
All I'm going to say is I'm so happy
Yeah.
that I was allowed to be part of your day.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We hope you had a good time. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the show to catch the latest episodes and share with your friends. We can't promise not to embarrass you. And if you just can't get enough, follow us on Instagram at Poor Man's Podcast 412, Twitter at Poor Man's Pod 412, and Facebook. This is Pittsburgh's own Poor Man's Podcast signing off. See you next week. Woo!